Hello, everybody. Captain Tavares. Altitude is imperative to forging a stable connection with the Prime Resonator in Theopolis. Power source is equally vital.
An exile returned? How was that even possible? And a Karui warrior too, descending from the sky to destroy our enemies like Tukohama in the stories my mother used to tell me. Well, your divine intervention gave us just the diversion we needed to take this tower. So if you keep doing things like that, then I might have to start believing in the gods again. And thank you. For freedom.
Unlike these assorted ignorami, I'm not surprised to see you here. The beast is dead, all thanks to you, I suppose. I was listening to the beast's death rattles when these lunatics broke in, wrecked the place, and dragged me here to tend to their cuts and bruises. Thankfully, I was able to bring some of my paraphernalia with me. The balance of power is shifting in your favor, O murderer of nightmares. If I am in possession of anything that might smooth the transition of governance, don't hesitate to ask. You'll find my terms quite reasonable. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and amplify the corrupt murmurings of Rayclast, a miasmeter. I listened to those whispers for years, lingering beyond sane comprehension. And then the scream. Such profound agony that my mind was nearly sundered by its percussion. I thought another cataclysm might be upon us. But no, it was you, slaying the beast. I was witness to a singularly potent cadence.
I totally thought this was Sunday.
This
It's
corruption, I am convinced that it holds the very key to our human history, and with it, our very existence. Yet without the miasmeter, I'm condemned to deafened ignorance. It remains in Piety's laboratory, as long as Utula's miscreants haven't vandalized the poor thing. Find it. Some time ago, I fabricated a device able to sense and Now, where was I?
Hunting! You have been captured, beast! You will be a survivor, or you will be fooled.
The white beasts. The spirit is strong in Fell Shrine. I am not so... Be well.
I knew this strength.
Thank you for returning our... Go with courage. Well, aren't you capable and accomplished? I recognize Helena from... Goodbye. This may be a grim place, but it's an important historical site. We're not far from the Sanctum now. Let's make our way there.
On this day,
That's it! The Sanctum! I can't believe we're here at last. We should make our way inside. This chantry. It must be a Templar device of some kind. There are engraved hollows within it, seemingly intended for artifacts. If you arrange relics on the chantry, you may invoke some kind of holy power. Here, take this relic I found. It may prove useful. May you return with ancient artifacts.
Before I do that, I'm going to take a break. Hmm. Ooh.
Hello, Joel.
Hello.
How are you?
You are very quiet.
I am never quiet.
Okay, talk again.
Talking again.
Still really low. I have you at like 130%.
Do you see anything on my screen, or is it just in my background?
Let me. No, I see it.
Huh?
I see it.
No. I didn't say anything about feedback. Yeah. So you don't see my game?
I see your game.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Yeah, it's so fun, man. Like, so this user interface makes it so much more playable. You can do cool things like mark stuff, like target an ally or an enemy and mark them. You can see like the different allies, like health bars and shit.
Oh.
And cool thing with this game, you have like allied targeting and then you have enemy targeting. Like there's a blackbird. Die, blackbird. Pow. Right in the kissa. Pow. Right in the kissa. But yeah, like it's so much more playable with this. I was having kind of a little bit of a headache trying to figure out how it worked. Where the hell even are my allies? I don't even know. Okay, they're all down there.
So are people still playing this game?
That's a great question. Let me go see the exact number of people currently online. Okay. Currently 475 people playing of an available 3,500 population.
Okay. I mean, it's low, but not like absent.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's how to put it. This game works best with a medium to high pop, and
Yeah.
so if it was a lot more than that, it would be really clustered, and then actually have to open up a second server. But no, like there's no wait times for queues for playing games and stuff. And let me go right here. I need to figure out what have it bound to for auto run. Hey, you can see where they killed people. It flashes it at the top. It's kind of funny because you literally, what's the word I am looking for? Oh, I need to go to the actual war camp over here. I see it's over there, or is it down there? Oh, it's all the way down there. Okay. Oh, I got knocked off. How dare you, you little murderous sprite. This right here is fun. It like drains health from them and gives it to the target you're targeting. So like their health goes down, mine goes up. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good. But yeah, this is an archmage. They are a healer, but they also can be played as a high damage spellcaster.
Nice.
And yeah, for back in 2008, this is pretty graphics. Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I remember you playing this game.
Yeah.
You were trying to get me to play it for a little bit, but I didn't have a good enough computer.
That's right. Wow. Wow, that was so long ago.
Yep.
But now you do.
No, I do.
Where the hell even am I? I don't even know. Still going the right way. Oh.
Is it on Steam, or where do you find it?
Oh, it's a complicated process that takes a while to get it installed. I'd have to walk you through it because it's legitimately a little bit of a headache. But once you get it all set up, it runs flawlessly.
Oh,
But yeah, it's completely 100% free because it's just run by players.
nice.
Let's see here. Oh, I probably should heal myself before I go into, dangerous territory. There's no objectives up here. It's all going to be further down.
Yeah.
And that's where my allies are fighting. But yeah, I can definitely help you get set up if you want. It's a really fun game to play with at least 2 people coordinated, because there's some
Yeah.
fun shenanigans you can do. Like when you're playing by yourself, like randomly in groups and stuff, like you can be effective, but you can't pull off some MLG cool shit. The worst thing about horses, though, listen to this. You ready? Well, I don't know. Can you hear stuff, or is it just visual?
I think I can
Hear a clipped
hear
copy?
it. No. Not here.
Okay. Ah, the old Nordlands. Haven't fought you in forever. So kidney and kidney and vibrator. I need to go see if they're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually, one of them's in my group. Oh yeah, I don't want to go too close up here. I'll get like literally killed by the guards. And any reinforcing players that are going to be coming down. Yeah, so you have enemy and ally camps. It's kidney. I'm going to mark you with blue. I can remember where you're at. Give him a long hour-long buff. Oh, he's playing a white lion. It's one of my favorite classes. They get a pet. He named his Suki. And you can have the pet do a lot of shit when you're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
A good example is the pet can, if we're getting control of this spot. I forget, there's battlefield objective. There's a timer that counts down somewhere, I just don't know exactly where. Or it might be locked for now, to where we can't get it. We're probably about to get, like, swarmed by people, is my guess. So it looks like... Yeah, Ekron full distro control, let's hit it, Nord is locked. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's right. So when a place is locked, that means you can't capture it right now.
Okay.
Before you leave, grab item. Yeah, that's the first time I joined like an actual random group of people.
Nice.
Can you even climb up here? I don't think you can. Yeah, it's got that Warhammer, like, perfectly aesthetically vibed shit that you'll 100% recognize from, like, Vermintide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got, like, Warrior Priest in here. They've got Archmage. They've got, if you want to play a Bright Wizard, they got that. What the hell is this? Portal to Warcamp? This is something they added in. Firework. Does that just take you back? Yeah, I guess that's a thing that brings you back here if someone uses it for a portal. I have no idea.
That's cool.
May you return with ancient
emblem
artifacts.
thingy-mabob's currency. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just from fighting and killing players, you'll get currencies to go buy gear to upgrade your character, so you never have to, like, necessarily do the whole PvE grind. You can play PvP the entire time, realm v realm. There is PvE, it's just not the main focus of the game. And it's got a very good, like, active player base.
That's nice.
Quartermaster. But yeah. Do you want me to show you the classes?
Sure. I'm streaming right now, but I can probably turn it off, so.
Oh, you don't have to. And just, I guess, glance over occasionally.
Yeah.
That's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, I can do that.
It is one of those games, unfortunately, that it does take time to exit.
Yeah.
Party. I really do like the aesthetic of the High Elf, though. Like, if this had, like, 2022 graphics, like, just the aesthetic alone is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Alright, I need to figure out how to log out to character select. Reconnect. Yeah, it is. It is probably, not counting installations, a 30-minute process to get through everything to get the account set up and everything.
Oh
But
wow.
once you've done all that stuff, the installation itself does take a while because it's not hyper optimized because they had to redesign it from the ground up, basically.
Right.
Characters. Create a character. So you got the evil side and the good side. People play on both. The population fluctuates a bunch between them. We'll start off on the good side with the dwarves.
The dwarves.
Each one has 4 races, or 4 classes within each.
Mm-hmm.
So there's generally a melee damage dealer, a tanky person, a range damage dealer for physical, and then a healer. Sometimes the range damage dealer is magical too, alternatively. So you've got the dwarven engineer. They fight with a turret. They can shoot with their gun, or throw range grenades. Like each class has like 3 main build paths within it that you can kind of customize and pick between.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's engineer. They're pretty fun, pretty easy to play. Ironbreaker's cool. So you set your buddy as your oathbound friend, and when people hurt your oathbound friend, you get angry and you build up grudge, and you use that
Mm-hmm.
grudge to do powerful things. All the tanks in this game have a really cool mechanic called guard, where you basically put a tether on somebody, and as long as you're within a certain distance, half the damage they would have received is sent to you instead, and then mitigated by your own defenses.
Oh,
So it
nice.
lets you take a squishy person and just make them not die.
So, like, you can literally tether yourself to the healer so you don't run away from the healer, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with this UI, it makes a nice little actual tether that you can visually see, and it shows when you're out of range.
That's cool.
Rune Priest, I don't know as much about. They're a healer. They can be a range spell damage dealer too. Their main kink is they can give people abilities, like actually give them a rune, and be like, "Here, you have a new skill you can use." And so they're pretty cool. They're like the main healer of healers of this kind of group, along with Archmage. And then you've got your Slayer, angry
Naked
ball of
dwarf.
anger. Yeah, and so just like your Slayer, it's all about getting up in their grill, beating the shit out of stuff. High risk, high reward kind of play style. Works good with the tank. It's like if we ever had 3 people playing this, a tank healer, DPS, that would be a good combo. Just get someone guarding you as the healer is back healing, or get a melee healer like a warrior priest that's getting guarded, or you're getting guarded, and just have fun with that with the tank healer DPS combo.
Yeah.
Pretty high mobility if I recall. And yeah, so that's the dwarves. The elves are really cool. I like the elf combos. So what I'm probably going to actually play and switch to if you end up playing is either a white lion or a swordmaster. Swordmasters are really cool. They are tanks that are agility and dexterity based, kind of with their greatsword. And so their whole cool mechanic is they dance in combat and go through different hotbars, like of stances. So they have like first step, second step, final step.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a very flowing kind of combat style. And they're very defensive, but they can also do some good damage. They have a damage tree as well. You can see like what you start off as, and then some of the higher level armor versions. Archmage is what I'm currently playing. They have a cool mechanic of when they do damage with damage spells, they store up charges that buff the next up to 5 healing spells they cast. And opposite, if they're healing a bunch, their next offensive spells get some juice. So they're really fun for really min-maxing the healing and damage elements. Whereas a Rune Priest from the Dwarf is more just straight healing with some damage tossed in.
Yeah.
The Shadow Warrior's interesting. They are a ranged DPS, but they're also very competent in melee as one of their build options. They've got like a long range, a mid range skirmisher, and then a close range fighter. Oh, it's Dad. 1 second. I'm gonna put him on speaker.
Okay.
Hey, Dad. How's it going? I didn't come over and do that today because Homeboy's been sick, and I don't want to expose anybody in case I get sick. I will say though that we do need to do your card thing whenever you're ready for it. I've got it pulled up on my phone. All we got to do is punch in your stuff. She wants to run it as a partial payment of like $5 at first, just to make sure the system's working. because you're the first person she's used since she switched to this new system. But if that checks out and everything's good, we can put the other, I guess what would that be, 695? But, and there's no rush on that, just whenever you have time and feel like it. Yeah, that'll work. I'll let her know. Yeah. Okay.
I did not understand why you charged me on my card and said I could use it to pay it back, but I gave you the check, so y'all already cashed.
No, the 100 for the 10 hours he's worked since then, that you said you were going to wait until the 17th to pay for. When I talked to you about it, and I guess either I didn't communicate it effectively or you didn't understand what I was saying at the time, I said for him, since he's like, we're literally out of food, and since, he's not technically family, he's, just labor work for you, to use the card to do $100 worth of charges on the card, and then when the 17th hits, you just, instead of giving him that $100, you just put that from your bank to the card.
Okay.
So it's effectively the same thing, yeah. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, I understand completely. We've both been through that credit card thing, we know. So. Alright, love you. Have a good rest of your day at work. Bye. Yeah, motherfucker. It's right. You best kowtow. I snapped at him earlier, V. You would have been proud.
Yeah.
I like that stance though. You can just feel the Carillion vibe coming from this, right?
Right.
Yep. So it's really good. Like you can tell that they did the more modern stuff, the Vermintide stuff, based on the lore and everything. But you can see that even back in 2008, they already had that stylistic kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so they had stance change with their strategic maneuvers. And then one of my absolute favorites in the game is the White Lion. They fight with a White Lion pet, and they can assume different roles to where either they're the tanky one and the pet's the DPS, they're the DPS and the pet's the tank, or kind of a hybrid between the two. And then one of the funniest things in the game is if the White Lion gets to you as an enemy, one of the funniest moves in the game is called Fetch, and they can have the lion yeet that enemy towards you. They literally throw an enemy to their master.
Oh,
it's
wow.
the best. It's very funny. But yeah, they do really good damage on top of having some cool mechanics and shit. So they also get the ability to leap towards an enemy, which is what a lot of the melee guys get.
Nice.
So that is the elves, and then the humans are fun too. So if you want to be Miss Fuegonasis, you've got of course your Bright Wizard. And their mechanic is as they do damage, they build up a meter. And once that meter hits a certain threshold, they start hurting themselves. And it's not like they kill themselves immediately at full. It's just it does a lot of damage. But their damage goes up tremendously too. So if you've got like a pocket healer that's supporting you, you can put out quite a bit of damage. They have like an area effect, a damage over time, and a single target burst damage specializations. The Witch Hunter, Mr. Saltspire over here. And so the Witch Hunter is basically like an assassin. They go stealthy, they build up pips attacking targets of basically accusations, and then they cleanse the purity of those accusations with their rifle. So it's a really fun theme. I just love that idea. It's like, yes, we've branded the heretic 5 times, now to blow his heads off. Okay, your sins are abolished. And so it's pretty fun. And so I forget their specialty lines. One's like a damage over time, one's like a stealthy assassin, and one is, I can't quite remember, more combat focused while not stealthing. My personal favorite healer, the Warrior Priest of Sigma. And so they can wield a hammer and book and group heal like a normal healer and from range. But their big specialty is building up a righteous fury by attacking things and using that to fuel their heals. They can beat shit over the head with hammers and heal their allies nearby. And they can also target a specific ally and heal them a lot with a flurry of blows. So they're super fun. If I was going to play a healer for a group that we're playing, it would be a toss-up between this and Archmage, depending on what we need. And yeah, and then lastly you have Knight of the Blazing Sun, which is what one of Kruger's things is largely based after. His Foot Knight even has the mustache like Kruger. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so they produce auras around themselves that buff allies or weaken enemies, and so they're like each the fighting sides, Order and Chaos, or Order and Destruction, excuse me, have at least one character that's like essentially the same thing on their side, but sometimes they're a little twisted and mixed. For example, now that we've seen all the good guys, for the bad guys, we'll start with the goblins and orcs. So the greenskins, for their ranged thing that's like Carillion, the Squig Herder, that's actually their pet class too. And so there's effectively 2 pet classes on each. You got the White Lion and the Squig Herder. And then you've got the Magus, which is a human on here I'll show in a bit. They summon their own version of turrets. It's like summoning stationary demons. Just like the Engineer summons their stationary stuff. And then, so yeah, they switch between stances much like the Elf class. That's the name I'm blanking on. The, clicked on human. The Wayfinder, Way Stalker, Shadow Warrior, yeah. And so, their Shaman is the version of the Archmage. They have the dumbest thing. It's they heal with the power of Gork and Mork. Mork heals, Gork hurts. And so that's their version of the light and dark yin yang thing.
Oh.
It's great.
Oh.
It's so funny. But yeah, some of their abilities are named hilariously. Like their big beam of damage is called Wah! And one of the Squig Herder's abilities, their basic shot's called Plink. And so these guys are just full of personality.
I like that.
You got the Black Orc is their version of a tank. It goes through the stance changes much like the High Elf does, I believe. Let me see, yeah, Brawling. No, this is more similar to the Ironbreaker. That's right. And then you got the Choppa. The Choppa is basically their version of the Slayer. So the more damage they take, the more damage they deal when they go berserky. And so the Chaos humans are pretty cool. So you've got the Chosen, which are essentially like a miniature version of the whatchamacallit that we're all familiar with, the Chaos Warrior. And they're the aura tank for their side. A lot of their auras harm enemies around them. You got the Magus, which is a really cool thing. They always like float on a disc. Like they're just always walking on a disc that floats. And they're like the Engineer. They summon a pet, and they're a magic range damage dealer as opposed to physical. Got the Zealot, which is like the Rune Priest for the evil side. They worship Sneech, or Sneech, I can never say his name right, the Chaos one. That's all about like super chaotic bullshit. And I can't quite remember what their special mechanic is. I think they give people a blessing, kind of like the runes that the Rune Priest gives out. And then you got the Marauder. They're really funny. They warp their body in different ways. And they're like the chaotic berserker guy that we fight all the time.
Yeah.
But on steroids. Like they can turn one of their arms into like a tentacle whip and like yeet people to them. Pull people over here. Get over here. And then lastly, the Dark Elves are really cool. I like them aesthetically. So you've got the assassin version on their side, the Witch Elf. And can only be female because of the lore. They're the daughters of Cain. And so, always no clothes because of course they gotta be super slut elves.
Right.
But these little edgelords are just like the warrior priests. Or not warrior priest, the witch hunter on their side. They don't have guns though, so they can't do ranged finishers necessarily. Sorcerer is the bright wizard on their side. They hurt themselves with dark magic as they accumulate too much. And you can be a male or female sorcerer. And these guys are super fun. The Blackguard can fight with a two-handed weapon or sword shield for Blackguard. And they go through... Oh, they have hatred. Yeah, that's like the grudge mechanic. That's right. So Black Orc is like the elf tank, and then this one's like the dwarf tank on their side. So they build up anger as they fight things and use it to do powerful effects. And then this is so edgelord cool. The Disciple of Cain. So they are basically blood magic healers that slash people with weapons to use their blood to heal their allies. And so they're basically the warrior priest, but dual wielding swords instead of big two-handed hammers.
Nice.
So yeah, and that is all of the classes. So, do any of those tickle your fancy based on the descriptions?
I was thinking if I were to go to like the light, I would probably do another dwarf, probably the Ironbreaker.
Nice.
Purely because I love being a tank.
Yeah.
If I wanted to challenge, I probably would do Knight of Cain on the other side.
Yeah, for a melee DPS healer.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, if you end up wanting to play dwarf tank, I could go warrior priest for melee,
Yeah.
or I could stay archmage like we're currently doing. But yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah. I'm not
So,
opposed to
let me
getting
show you.
this since it's free.
Yeah, do you want me to show you the long ass process of joining it?
Yeah, let me just get off the stream so I don't have to deal with all that.